Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Dragoon Slayer Podcast. I am the Blue Dragoon himself, Daniel the Dragon, and with me once again is the incomparable family man himself, James Haynes.
I'm out of the sphere again, folks. Hello, hello.
That's right, folks. We are back once again. We want to thank Danielle, our new queen of Bridgerton, for joining us for the last couple episodes.
All hail the queen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charlotte Flair, for that beautiful little.
Yeah. Now, we went and we've got an interesting show for you today because we're going to be discussing Ted Season 2. I've got a couple anime recommendations, or at least notifications. We do have something Jimmy wants to bring up. We've got War Machine, the movie on Netflix, and we will be wrapping things up with something I needed to discuss, which would be the second season of One Piece live action.
Yeah.
That's right. So we're going to jump right in and get right into it. But before we talk about Ted Season 2, I do need to address the elephant in the room. Happy spring, everybody. Yeah. Unfortunately, on the first day of spring, we get some news that the man who could never be beat, Chuck Norris, has passed away. So, unfortunately...
Aloha, Chuck. I know you passed away in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And,
you know...
Thank you for all your work, man.
A legendary life, a legendary career. I disagreed with a couple of things towards the end.
Leave dodgeball alone. Except, no, that's what Ben Stiller would say.
But either way, I can say the man was an icon and an absolute legend. And
yes.
Even if I disagreed with him on certain things, his career was definitely an influence on a lot of people. It was one of those things where between him and Bruce Lee got me interested in martial arts in the first place. So rest in peace, Chuck.
Got to meet him down in Tampa, Florida around the late 80s. He was at a Junior Olympics for Taekwondo.
Yeah.
And this is right before Taekwondo debuted.
You mean Taekwondo?
Taekwondo. Taekwondo Leap. Like the song. No, let's boot to the head.
Yeah, don't be doing that. No, we don't disrespect the martial arts
around
here. Especially after...
And that was said by the Korean master.
Yeah, so...
But he was down there, and he was really congratulating all the participants and all, and thanking everybody, the parents, for letting their kids in on Taekwondo and everything, so...
Yeah. Norris, as a spokesman for the martial arts, was up there, and I am so appreciative of having him be an influence in the martial arts culture, the zeitgeist. He has done a lot for everything, and he's going to be missed. I will never forget him and Jonathan Brandis doing the movie Sidekicks.
Oh, yes.
So
beating the crap out of Joe Piscopo.
Yeah. So just really wanted to address that before we get started. Now... We got the news that Ted Season 2 is also the last season due to the production being extremely expensive, but we did get some positive news on the Ted front for Ted fans that there will be a sequel series to Ted, the second movie. Mark Wahlberg will be back, and it will be fully animated though, so they will just be lending their voices. So that should also give us a lot more craziness. Now,
crazy ain't the word.
With that being said, we're going to jump right into our discussion on Ted Season 2. Which I have to say, this season started off with a literal bang. I mean, there was a lot to digest from this, and I will say I got very excited just from the first episode by seeing the fact that we had more actors from the Orville, which I'm still hopeful and waiting for season 4 of the Orville. But Ted Season 2 started off where I got really excited when I saw Bortus coming in. I've never really known the actor before because I've only seen him as Bortus, and now I'm like, oh, I spotted him immediately. And having a phone sex line as the very first episode.
Well, it was, what was it, the late 80s?
No, that was
the high school?
It was the early 90s.
Early 90s?
Because Clinton was still in office.
That's right.
You know, raging Republican family in Boston. You know, the second season has taken a lot of shit because they did use AI for a Clinton joke because Seth MacFarlane has a great Clinton impression.
Hello, this is Bill Clinton.
It was the only way to get that to do it properly. They said they tried they tried makeup effects, they tried like the de-aging, it just wasn't working. So they ended up going with AI, which was the only way to make it work for that one episode.
That was hysterical.
But I have to say, like this, like 1-800 hot. What was it? 1-800 or 1-900 hot butt.
1-900 hot butt.
Yeah, I'm amazed that we still see these commercials on late night cable to this day, mind you, for things like the Night Exchange and whatnot.
212, whatever.
Yeah, we're in an age where that's not something you would think of, and talk about a throwback. I mean, this second episode, Mrs. Robochick, which another actor from the Orville, we got, the seduction of, and not thinking it's like, oh, Johnny's going to get some from the older lady, and it ended up being Ted. I have to give a lot of credit where credit's due. Like, this season alone of Ted we're not going to break down every.
How many times did he have sex?
Oh, listen, no,
he had more sex than John.
Oh, of course, but remember that John went through all the way to like graduation, and he was still a virgin.
Yeah.
But the thing,
and getting the crap beaten out of him.
Yeah, no. The real thing is though, like this season was like all over the place when it came, but the stories all kind of came back together with the family dynamic, and I mean, Ilana Eubank. I have absolutely been a fan of hers since the first movie I can remember.
Waiting?
No. The first time I remember seeing Ilana Eubank in a movie was actually a movie no one likes to talk about. Airborne. With Jack Black.
That's a great movie. I object.
And Seth Green.
Yes.
Nobody talks about it because people don't reference this movie. It's an underrated movie because it was a rollerblade movie. Came out in 93.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, the next movie she was in, which I think was 93, 94, Sister Act 2. So, and she's been singing since then, and she has a phenomenal voice. Her acting is hilarious.
Yeah.
She is so underrated as an actress. I will always remember her in Waiting, but...
Oh, man. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Besides that scene where she's ready to beat the crap out of half the customers.
I think anyone who's worked in retail can relate to that.
Restaurant and retail
in general,
yes.
Because there's always been somebody in either environment,
or at least even in the supermarket, they're like, "Excuse me, what'd you do that for?" Microsoft just lost 5 points. Yeah, I'm not discounting out canned for you.
No, so I mean, they went off the wall with this one, and Scott Grimes. I will always know him as Steve Smith, but he is absolutely amazing. Playing Johnny's dad, the racist Republican Boston father.
When they had to create the paper just to calm his ass down.
Oh, yeah. Their season finale of having it where Johnny basically is going and he's graduated high school. He's got no aspirations for anything.
Nothing.
And his father has a heart attack, and the only thing that they're thinking they can do to try to calm him down is to prevent him from finding out the results of the OJ trial.
And even the best part was they created a comic, and he wanted to know more about this damn comic.
Oh yeah.
Sure. And what was it, Gringolino or something?
No.
Oh God, but that was hysterical.
They went all out with this one. It's absolutely hilarious the way that they did this. They have a Dungeons and Dragons episode. They have an they have an abortion.
Oh yeah, Dungeons and Dragons for pot.
Yeah, no, but they have the abortion episode. All of the characters that they came up with for this are absolutely amazing. And we don't hear anything in the Ted movies about his cousin.
No.
I'm hoping that when they do the animated version, we actually get to see his cousin in there, even if the parents aren't involved, which I would hope maybe they kind of squeeze them in, or at least have their voices come back as like do animated flashbacks and use them or something, because this second season had me rolling. Everything they did to go throughout this entire season, I mean, from the play of Johnny and Ted being guards in the play. And
what was it, Hamlet or Romeo and Juliet or something like that? I think
it was Hamlet.
Yeah.
I believe it was Hamlet, but it was absolutely hilarious to have them going and standing there as the guards. Johnny's trying to stay calm because they've now freaked him out. So having an edible that was not really...
That was really, really hashed up.
That went beyond what a normal edible would be and gave hallucinations, freakouts. It was awesome.
Oh, gosh.
They went 100% gas on their foot on the gas pedal and drove this season through. I'm a little disappointed that it was the final season.
Yeah.
But at least they gave them the opportunity to go and get it to that point where they left it off, where now the next thing would be you go from season 1, season 2, you can go right into the movie.
Yeah.
And having Ian McKellen as your voiceover guy, and him even making references that the second movie isn't as good as the first, and it's like there are certain parts even he can't watch. I think they just went... I don't think I'm doing it justice describing it.
No, we have to encourage people to please watch all 8 episodes. And even in between when they went to, like they do on Family Guy, they had the same little music to go into the house.
I think he constantly uses the Walter Murphy orchestra.
Walter Murphy, yes.
Now, did you have a favorite episode out of this season, though?
I had all of them were my favorites. I mean, but I did like when the pot episode.
Yeah.
Where she got caught. And then she goes to prison.
Oh, Susan in Black?
Susan in Black.
Yeah, that was the second to last episode of the season.
And how he's like, he picks up the sock, and the sock is crashes. Picks up the shirt. Everything just breaks on the fucking floor.
Yeah. You never really appreciate your mom until something like that. I mean, they took it way to the extreme, but it was definitely something of like, no, you got to remember to appreciate your mom, because with this, it's like, you don't know, mothers are the unseen heroes. Although when Alana Eubank as Johnny's mom sits there and she's like, I'm always going to be here. I'm going to die here, Johnny.
What she did in prison too was even funnier. I'm surprised she didn't get a tattoo.
I don't know how she's not busting out laughing. I would need to see a blooper reel, because if she didn't crack for most of this stuff, I think she had to have broken everyone else on set for some of this, because it just was beyond what I was expecting. And I was waiting for the second season. I'm glad we got it. It's a little disappointing that it was the last time we were going to get it, but at the same time, it at least did give us something very positive to look forward to for that.
Oh, please. I still crack up when I'm like, even in the commercial, and it did justice with Ted in the jar. I'm like, what the hell is he doing in the jar? And then he comes out and he's still got a sock stuck up to his ass. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, they went all out with this one. I was very happy with the way that the season progressed. We're getting to a point where we've needed some strong comedy, and this goes into that live action realm. And I'm hoping that everyone stops being hypersensitive, allows us to laugh and poke fun at each other, because it's not done in a negative way. It's done all in good spirits, which is why I'm actually very excited to see the new Scary movie when it does come out.
Yes.
Because the Wayans brothers have confirmed they are not pulling any punches.
Any punches? Did you see the trailer?
Yeah, they are going.
I could not stop laughing after the first couple of minutes.
Yeah. Now, I mean, we can talk on trailers because the Scary Movie trailer was absolutely amazing. It was just a tease, but seeing all the returning characters back, it really emphasized that this should be something that we should not miss out on. But at the same time, this is also going to be the real litmus test when it comes to, okay, how are we doing this? Is comedy actually going to go and proceed, and we're going to be able to make those jokes, or are people going to be hypersensitive and not be able to take it?
Bringing that this has not been around, it's been off the radar for how many years?
Oh, yeah. It's been long enough that we haven't seen anything for it. And one of the interesting aspects to it is the fact that I'm interested to see what the Wayans brothers are going to do, because I haven't seen Sean in a bunch of stuff in a while.
Yeah.
Marlon has been popping up, and he's been doing some serious roles.
Him?
Oh, my God. Dark. He's tapped into some really juicy roles. I'm hoping that maybe we get some cameos from the other Wayans family members in this as well. But seeing Sean and Marlon back together again on screen, Anna Faris being back, getting everybody back, this is just one of those things where I'm like,
Regina Hall.
Oh, I am looking forward to seeing.
Oh, I'm a Republican. You're black. Do I have to like you? Oh, forget that hateful talk.
Yeah. Listen, this is definitely gonna be one of those movies where I'm looking forward to it. And I mean, we're gonna just address this right now since we jumped onto trailers. The Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer just recently came out. There is a second one that I'm not sure how real it is, so I don't even want to address that one.
Yeah.
But this new one, it gives me shades of Spider-Man, the animated series in the 90s, where Spider-Man goes through the metamorphosis and starts becoming Man-Spider.
That's what you're the second person that said that.
Well, that's what it gives, because, I mean, you can see, like, he's now gone from, it looks like he's in cocoons. He's not using the web shooters sometimes. He's using organic webbing. You know, the costume looks amazing because you can see the folds and, like, the wind blowing against it. The same way that Andrew Garfield, his costume had that. Yeah. There's the raised webbing, so there's the inspirations from the other Spider-Men that he's met. So in No Way Home, they left us off at this amazing point of him now being isolated. Yeah. And we're going to see the effects of that, if this is psychological, if they're going to try and tap into something even more where, maybe they're going to go and kind of allude to some of the other elements that have taken place, because how far is this going to actually get dragged in with the other parts of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
They're saying this is supposed to be this will drag into December.
But this also looks like it's post Daredevil Born Again season 2. Mm-hmm. It also looks like, because you can kind of see, like, you see Bruce Banner in there, and if you notice on his wrist, he's wearing the bracelet that he was wearing in She-Hulk, as well as at the end of Shang-Chi, to, like, keep himself in his human form. So now the thing ends up basically being, are they going to go and ignore She-Hulk entirely, and say that it never broke, or did he just fix this? Because there's been rumors going around recasting of She-Hulk, and it's not Tatiana Maslany. So now, I mean, Mary Elizabeth Winstead was listed as somebody I think that was rumored, which I think she's a phenomenal actress.
She's a phenomenal actress.
But, I mean, Tatiana Maslany did a phenomenal job.
She did the right job. They had the right person. I mean, what are they going to do, like an Ed Norton?
Yeah.
That's what it basically is.
And they've proven they can do it. I mean, when you think about it, it's not just that. I mean, you figure the original actor for Thunderbolt Ross passed away, so we ended up.
Yeah, we need that one. That one they needed.
Yes,
that was
Harrison
needed.
Ford, and then not having the mustache.
I know.
It's just, it was a little weird without the mustache, but I mean, I've enjoyed what's been going on. Yeah. Some things hit a little more than others. Yeah. So it's just a matter of seeing where things fall.
Well, like you said, even with the plot line and everything, because you notice you mentioned it, he went to talk to Dr. Banner.
Yeah.
You mentioned the animated series.
Yep.
When he had problems, who did he go talk to? Dr. Connors.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't do that. It seems.
Yeah.
Seems like they basically put him in. He's already in jail.
Well, no.
Basically.
What it seems like is they haven't gotten to the lizard.
Or
in
they
this
haven't
universe.
gotten to the lizard yet in his universe.
But you have to remember something too. It's also when everybody's going to come up with these ideas and theories.
Yeah.
The problem ends up being where we've already seen Kurt Connors, but we also heard in Spider-Man No Way Home that there is no Oscorp. No one's talked about the Osborn family.
Exactly.
So because there's been no Harry and Norman Osborn, maybe there isn't a Kurt Connors in this universe yet, or they haven't introduced them, so they don't know. They're not potential threats just yet, because Sony did their own thing and Sony screwed around. So I mean, now with Marvel working a little closer with them, it helps out and works things a little better.
And if you also notice that he goes, Frank, what the hell, man? If you look and remember in the comics and even in the anime series, he's more a mercenary, not friendly with the kid.
Well, you got to remember something.
Spider-Man.
The thing is, though, this makes it feel like a lived-in universe. We don't need to see them being together or working together. It's just a lived-in universe that, you know what, maybe the New York street-level heroes have all come across each other, even when it wasn't involved in, like, Daredevil.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens. I mean, Daredevil Born Again is about to start dropping in by the time this episode is
next
out.
week.
Next week it'll be out. So, I mean, I want to discuss it. I know you have a few issues because you don't have the channels anymore. So I may have to be leading that discussion on my own.
That's fine.
But, you know, we've got a lot to discuss.
I mean, also to the point is that, like you said, they brought back Ted 2. You know, they also on Hulu are working on Malcolm in the Middle, but they're doing it as a movie, I've heard.
No, it's from my understanding, it's a limited series.
Yes, I've heard that first.
But it's supposed to be a limited series. The problem with it is that, you know, they don't have all the same actors back, because I know the kid that plays Dewey's not coming back.
Yes,
there
I've heard
were rumors and things changed, and we'll see how that one plays out. I'm interested in looking at it, but Malcolm in the Middle has always been something that it's like I enjoyed it when it came out.
Oh, who didn't? It was a great show.
But at the same time, it's also disappeared. Haven't seen it as much, so because that I'm not as familiar. Ted I was a little more familiar with because I really went and made sure I saw the first season. I enjoyed both of the movies, and I'm a huge Seth MacFarlane fan. I would love to be able to work with him, even interviewing him, because he seems like that guy that it's like he knows just how to really do a lot of things, from his early days in Cartoon Network to Family Guy to even his singing career.
Oh, yes. And anybody that knows Seth MacFarlane or can link us up to him, you can email us at
Dragoon Slayer Podcast at gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's Dragoon Slayer Podcast at gmail.com.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you.
No, thank you. But no, so now I want to just jump in because we have a couple of anime things that have happened.
Go right ahead.
One thing we will be discussing on our next episode is going to be the first 3 episodes of Invincible dropped on Amazon Prime.
They just dropped?
They dropped this week.
Okay, good.
So we will be discussing that next week. But anybody who is a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan, Steel Ball Run has now started to drop on Netflix. So Netflix has Steel Ball Run. I'm a little behind because I still have to do the previous season. I got a couple of the previous seasons I got to watch, because every season of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is very different. Even if there's a family lineage that drives through and then things change, I'm going to pretty much try to go into this as cold as possible. I don't want to know any of the real details about what's going on, because it's always amazing, but they also always use, like, the names of characters tend to be like bands and musicians. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be very interesting with this one. So that is now available. So if anybody wants to watch that, that is available on Netflix for Steel Ball Run. And then Hulu and Disney Plus just dropped, and I'm amazed that they did this, because they dropped dubbed and subbed the first episode of Rooster Fighter. I watched the first episode because that's all that's available right now. I know nothing about this, and the only thing that I know is this is the most bizarre thing I have seen, but I'm enjoying it. That first episode gave me feels of One Punch Man season 1. It's very comical. It's very ridiculous. This is not for kids, though. There is, unless you want to, like, there is a lot of violence. There's profanity. There's rooster sex. Yes, I had to say that. There was no way around that one at all because, yeah, Jimmy's breaking right now. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, Warner Brothers couldn't do it, but Disney does.
No, listen, they
I say, why is Warner Brothers? Why is Disney doing it?
No. Disney's just releasing.
They're just released. I say Disney's releasing it.
This is absolutely ridiculous, and it
makes Fargo and Leghorn look like a saint.
Listen, this is one of those things where I'm like, ugh. And there is rumors, apparently, that Coyote versus Acme might actually find a way to be released. So I'm hoping that happens because we unfortunately have the terrible news that because Netflix backed out thanks to Paramount pressure, that we have Paramount Skydance is trying to finalize their deal with HBO Warner Brothers, and everyone, I'm going to say this, you need to reach out to your representatives because this is not a good thing, because this will be a monopoly on everything. The prices for the streaming platforms are all going to skyrocket the more that they consolidate. So you need to reach out to your politicians, local, state, legislature, make sure you speak to everybody, send emails, faxes, find out. It's a simple Google search to find out who your representative is and how to get in touch with them, because we need to start trying to get these prices back down, and there's no way to do that unless we reach out and tell them that we don't want these fucking monopolies anymore because we can't afford it. It's already bad enough that as a wrestling fan, I need to have multiple platforms just to be able to watch the episode, each different show that they're doing. So we need to speak up and just let our voices be heard, because the more that they keep doing this, it's going to become a nightmare situation when it's already at like $20 for things that have commercial breaks in them. Mm-hmm. You don't need commercial breaks if you're paying that much for a streaming platform. We moved away from cable. This is now cable with extra steps. And you're paying multiple subscriptions to be able to watch everything you want to watch. But there are free alternatives, right, Jimmy?
There are. But I've also heard that even with this the merger, that Paramount Plus will merge into HBO Max. So that means they'll have the full South Park library.
Again.
But this time they'll have the COVID episodes, all those episodes. They'll also have the Mayor of Kingstown. They'll have Tulsa King, etc.
Yeah.
So that's what I've heard, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah. Now we want to jump. Now you got a recommendation to let people know.
I like
right?
to let see what happened. Oh yeah, that leads into Tasmania, which is now going to be officially on Tubi. Yes, Tubi has bought nearly anything that you used to watch on Boomerang, USA Express, Cartoon Network is going to be on. Even CW, Channel 5 is going to be on Tubi. Little by little by little, they are coming on. They already started with the Animaniacs. They have Pinky and the Brain. They have Yogi's Gang on there. They have Ed, and Eddie I've seen. They mentioned a whole lot of this. I was seen with a coworker, and it was mentioned on their Instagram and the Y page, because I'm not going to go to X on that. But no, they mention it on all those, so that looks good, and people will be happy. I mean, right now, you get plenty, bless you, on MeTV and everything right now. including the anniversaries and all, which is great.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of stuff.
TV
there's
tunes,
a lot of
I should
options,
say.
But for people who don't have MeTV Tunes, it's on the Friendly TV app, which that's a subscription once again. So this is why I said that people need to speak out, because one family should not own that much of the marketplace to jack up the prices, because we know the prices are going to skyrocket. I am making this a plea to everyone out there to please speak up, contact your local representatives, let them know that you do not want this to happen, because monopolies are the thing that hurt all production, all commerce, and we're already feeling it, where prices are skyrocketing, gas prices are keep rocketing up through the roof. And we need a little relief. You're going to need to be able to feel some kind of entertainment, and you're not going to see that if you go and you allow these billionaire monopolies to keep taking over everything.
Listen, they got rid of Ma Bell many years ago. They should go back to that and do it again.
Yeah.
That's why Verizon was created, AT&T, Sprint, etc.
And that created the competition that brought down prices. Now, with that said, I want to move on to our movie that we were going to discuss.
The movie.
War Machine.
On Netflix.
Yes. Starring Reacher himself, Alan Ritchson.
Yes.
That guy is a beast. He is a good actor. He's having a good amount of stuff coming out.
So far, he's doing
recently.
good this year so far.
Oh, yeah. And I have to say, I was looking forward to seeing this. I wasn't sure where it was going, because they didn't really reveal too much in the trailers. No. And I was pleasantly surprised, because we got two brothers starting off this movie, where we're going into a little bit of spoiler territory. We're going to try to keep certain things vague for you, but
it's been out a week, so people have had a little bit of time. But if it isn't, fast forward, folks.
Yeah, but the time code will be in the YouTube video's description. Now, other than that, you have two brothers who made a deal that they were going to go and try to become Rangers in the Army. One of the hardest, most challenging groups. Their training is on a whole other level.
Listen, between them, the Navy SEALs, and what the Marines go through for their special forces, it's extremely difficult. I've heard 100 people, if 100 soldiers went in and at least 10 came out, that's good. That's good. That is good. That's what you want to hear.
Yeah, and that's the thing, we're seeing like Alan Ritchson in this he is doing the training. He is on the older side of the recruits, and it is a challenge for a lot of the stuff. You see people getting eliminated left and right. They're going by numbers. They're not even going by their names. They're given patches with different numbers, and that's who they are. And during the final mission to pass the test, they come across what can only be described as a war machine. Yeah. So it is a science fiction based movie, because this is now basically something from another world shows up and is in pursuit of these soldiers.
It looks almost like a futuristic BattleTech too, if you look at them.
Yeah.
Crazy ass version of BattleTech.
Yeah, there's a lot of it came off as something that I'm surprised we didn't see a toy come out for this, because this thing looks like Netflix should have probably said market a toy for this.
Well, Super 7 will probably get some ideas out of this after that.
Well, we'll see. It gave me a little bit of an old school feel for Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future, going up against the cyborgs and stuff. It really was that big giant, something between Captain Power and Tron.
Captain Power, Tron. That, I tell you, that Tasmaniac's getting into me. Tron, Captain Power, Predator.
Yeah.
And I'll even say it, Independence Day.
Yeah. Then there was a little bit of a Transformers element mixed in there. There was a lot going on. Some of the acting was not like top notch, but a lot of those guys, I don't think they've had a lot of acting experience for the soldiers that were there. So the performances can be a little bit cheesy. But I have to say, Dennis Quaid in this movie.
Dennis Quaid was there, and Isai Morales.
Yeah. But Dennis Quaid, like, I looked at Dennis Quaid and all I was thinking was the original G.I. Joe.
Yep.
Because he looks like...
General Flagg.
He really did look straight up General Flagg. Mm-hmm. So you were like, this looked really good. I would recommend this movie.
Definitely.
Was there anything that you would think, Jimmy, that stood out when it came to this movie?
81's knowledge of physics and science, besides mechanics, was amazing at how they linked everything together for his character so he can beat this war machine. Yeah. And he found a way, and that was like smart and everything. Yeah,
this was definitely one of those movies where it was simple in a lot of the design. The sets weren't like crazy. It was a lot of outdoor stuff, and the machine know-how. Everything that they were doing basically kept it feeling very grounded. And I was actually very impressed with that, because this could have gone completely goofy and silly, especially with the science fiction element to it, of having this war machine coming from beyond the stars and then coming after the soldiers. It could have gone and been completely ridiculous and goofy and silly, and they kept it so grounded in a level of reality that you could almost really see this as being something legit.
The funny thing about it was it even had a little bit of humor in a way. It was almost like a weekend at Bernie's Field with 17, because everybody's trying to make sure to keep this guy.
In 7?
I thought it was 17.
7.
7.
15 was the one that couldn't stop cracking jokes.
15 was all right, but 7, poor guy.
Oh yeah.
Between going down the river, going on the cables, the zip tie. Oh, yeah. He's being carried all over the place and everything. I'm like, you can get a weekend at Bernie's Field.
Listen,
and at least the guy survived too.
Listen, the tattoo that they gave to Alan Ritchson's character, DFQ.
Don't freaking quit. Yeah, but we know what that F means.
Yeah. So we basically, and they say it repeatedly. They say it a couple of times in the movie, and it is absolutely the truest thing for this movie. This movie did not quit.
No.
It really was. They put the gas pedal down, and they just kept going. It slowed down when it needed to intensify what was going on. And then it just picked up again. This movie is absolutely worth it. If you're not a fan of military movies, I wouldn't recommend this. But as somebody who enjoys sci-fi and enjoys like some military movies, not all of them, because there's some that are really good, some of them not so good. But this one, with the science fiction element to it, worth it.
You always knew that something was going to go on with the compass. That was the key to everything too.
Yeah.
Which was cute.
Yeah. So
it's like, oh, here we go. Here comes something. Let's see what happens now.
Yeah. So we went, and now we got to jump into our main talk.
The main event.
Now, One Piece.
Yes.
Season 2 dropped on Netflix. And I am a huge One Piece fan. I have been watching One Piece since the animated days of 4Kids having the dub back in 98 on like Fox Kids. So I remember watching this, and I've been watching it since. I'm still not even caught up because the anime is over 1,000 episodes
32
long.
Seasons.
No. What are you talking about, 32 seasons?
Oh, they have 32 seasons on there.
The animated one is not 32 seasons.
How many is it now?
So far, this is one long, continuous season. They have when they take a break, the next one that comes out will be season 2.
Oh, that's
when they finish Egghead Island. So it's going from a continuous anime that has been going on for over 1,100 and something episodes long, to Then it'll now get its second season after Egghead Island finishes. Yeah. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah, what do you call registers it as 32, which cracks me up.
Well, that's because like the way they were breaking it down for DVD sales was seasons were listed as voyages. So each arc was a voyage, and that was back then. So things have kind of changed. But I watched season 1, and I was waiting for season 2.
I had to
catch both of them.
And I did.
Now, seeing as how you are a One Piece virgin for this, what were your thoughts, Jimmy, on going from season 1 into season 2?
First off, like you said, one other thing, I went in this dry. Went in this open-minded.
Completely blind.
Completely Ray Charles.
Whoa.
Hey, leave Stevie Wonder alone.
Too soon.
Well, Helen Keller got burned on the waffle iron, so I couldn't use that either. This is what happens when you get Jeffrey Ross in this, who's going to be on there also with his Broadway special. But anyway, going into this and seeing how this story starts, it's like, okay, you got me here. Now, keep me going. Keep me interested. And it does. And then you get to one point where it's like, Grandpa! I'm like, oh God, what in the world did I get into now? And then it keeps going and going, and it's like, all right, now we're up to season 2. You got a ship. Now we're into season 2, and you go more and more into it. I'm like, oh boy.
Now that's the thing. When it comes to One Piece, there's a lot. And a lot of people know about stuff. This is not a one-for-one adaptation. So there are things, pacings changed for certain things. The characters have slight adjustments. There are certain things that we're never going to translate to live action. You know, there's certain elements that are going to be goofy. But then you also have one other element to it, which is we now have hindsight after having over all these chapters of the manga, but also having all these episodes. So certain elements from later on can be teased earlier, and you now know, and they also make sense in doing so. One of the things that I have to say is the performance-wise, Emily Rudd is absolutely amazing as Nami. She has encapsulated that character to what I would say absolute perfection. Mackenzie as Zoro, he's got such dedication when it comes to the swordsmanship and everything. You know, all of the characters, like, I'm just picking out a few as standouts, especially Taz. He's one of my... Taz Skylar is absolutely, like, he's playing Sanji, who has been one of my favorite characters, not just because of the chef,
cooking,
the chef background, but also like the way the character has always been portrayed is kind of more like the suave guy always hitting on women, but at the same time, it's like he does it where it's not completely disrespectful. He gets a little more goofier in the anime and stuff and the manga, but this live action performance and the fact that as a chef, he doesn't use his hands to fight, he uses his feet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I will say one of the most outstanding performances that came through from the new season is Michaela Hoover. Michaela Hoover she was one of 3 people portraying Tony Chopper.
Yes.
And Michaela Hoover,
I like Tony Chopper.
And if you don't know who Michaela Hoover is, Michaela Hoover was Cat Grant in the new Superman movie that came out.
Okay.
So Michaela Hoover had actually, in my honest opinion, has encapsulated the essence of the character so well. I was actually brought to tears through the performances.
It was tearing at the end there when Chopper is crying.
Yeah.
And it is just so cute, and then you see Zoro putting him on his shoulder.
Oh yeah. Cute. Listen, it wasn't even just that. I mean, you've got Katie Sagal.
I knew that was Katie Sagal.
Yeah.
It made...
The funniest part is the person who was originally trying to play Dr. Correa was Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's who could have been perfect for this too.
She wanted the part, but there were obligations, couldn't do it. Katie Sagal was a perfect second.
Excellent.
And the portrayal that she did, the gruffness of this doctor who, but has the emotional ties. And there are certain elements of things that have been like kind of tricked into things. Mm-hmm. I mean, she portrayed it beautifully, as well as Michaela Hoover, though. The emotion that came through from it was her face doing the motion capture for the face and the performances, but then they have another actor who is doing the physical movements of Small Chopper and Reindeer Chopper, and then you have the prosthetic element where now they have to have Michaela do the voice matching for Abominable Chopper. Yeah. Like Monster Chopper. I
like it as Abominable.
Listen, there's going to be...
But that was amazing.
No, there's more to Chopper. There was that little hint that came at the end for the jar of the ball, of those little pellets that were in there. Those are the rumble balls. And if those get to an actual portrayal, we can see some crazier transformations from Chopper.
Oh, I look forward to that.
And McKenna put in such dedication with the swordsmanship that he actually went and he really did take down 100 guys in that fight sequence at Whiskey Peak.
You tell me that did not remind you of Kill Bill Volume 1, though, to a point.
No.
Just a little bit to me, but not that much.
No. This was completely different because you have to realize something. Kill Bill was one person, one sword, taking on...
Oh, I know. Just a little bit.
That was taking on the crazy 88.
Oh, yeah.
That's 88. Zorro, 3 swords, 100 people. But one of the elements that made it more interesting was the fact that they never got into Zorro's psychology or anything.
No.
So in the anime. But you're getting it by seeing how in season 1, the defeat from Mihawk was basically haunting him. So having Zorro going and seeing flashes of Mihawk talking to him, kind of taunting him, telling him how he needs to use...
Is that all you're going to do?
Yeah.
I know.
That was the stuff.
And it also reminded me, if you remember, the competition with in The Lord of the Rings between... Come
on, Legolas.
Yes. The two. That only counts as one.
Yeah.
But no. Not for nothing, but amazing. And everything.
But that's the thing. They did such a great job with the characters, giving hints to the backstory. Logtown really was like this phenomenal sequence that they were able to do. The worlds feel completely lived in. There are wanted posters for other characters that we may see, we may never see them, but they are there. They did such a great job creating a world that actually felt lived in. And Logtown really was that start, because the character of Bartolomeo, he was there, but it was a smaller part in the anime and the manga. Having him now being somebody who it's like he tried to rob Nami, and Nami went and had to tell him, it's like, pick a better mark, pick somebody who's unexpected, not realizing she was directing him to the perfect mark is basically her Captain Luffy himself.
Yes.
And Inaki does a great job playing Luffy.
Monkey D. Luffy.
Monkey D. Luffy. That's the thing. The funniest part is that when they don't understand certain elements, and I think people who are watching it only from the live action version, that there's a lot more going on in that world. And there's things that are taking place that we're getting to see. The portrayal of, I do not know the actress's name, for Miss All Sunday / Nico Robin. Nico Robin is one of my favorite characters from One Piece. Like
now, Miss Sunday was
Miss All Sunday.
All Sunday. She was the one with the umbrella?
No.
Or is she the one with all the hands?
All the hands, the cowboy hats.
I told you not to say my name.
Yeah. Hey, listen, she's sitting there with Joe Manganiello himself.
The Crocodile King.
Mr. Zero.
Yes.
Yep. And that, like, the casting they got is phenomenal.
Yeah. I heard a rumor with him, and I was looking forward to seeing how he would look. Even with the Captain Hookish.
Yeah. Oh,
hand.
No. That is not a Captain Hook hand. That is Crocodile's signature hook. there is a lot that goes on with this character that we're going to find out more in season 3. And they've already started, I believe, the production for season 3.
Good.
Because there's a lot to do. The good thing is, because season 1 was already done, they already had the ship, so a lot of the production could be moved to doing the actual, like, other locations and expand more. The bar sequence alone on Whiskey Peak, that bar was so amazing, especially for that fight sequence of having multiple levels. Little Garden with the giants of Elbath. Like, that was something that...
Why are we fighting for? I don't know.
And that's the thing. The giants of Elbath was the point where they gave Usopp a chance to shine. Because they kind of cut back a little bit on Usopp's character development a little bit, but that was where we got to see really more of it, along with fighting against the Baroque Works crew. You know, they did such a great job, you know, and I even have
What's his name is number 3. Oh, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, Mr. 3 was great. I can't wait till we see some of the other members of the Baroque Works. You know, when they did the World Council, they went into such detail of having all of these characters that they're only on screen for maybe a minute if they're lucky.
Or 2.
Like, even a few seconds, and they put so much effort in. I have to agree with somebody who had said it, like, one of the only, I can't remember who, so I can't quote the person, but I'm not taking credit for the opinion, because the only really bad effect that I saw, which it wasn't a terrible effect, but it wasn't the best effect, was the Wappo hole in the window. The Wappo shaped hole. Because King Wappo, it's like, they could have made
when he threw him out the window
in the Wappo fight at the end. You know, they adjusted the Wappo fight so that the pacing was better. They took out certain elements from there because the anime that took a lot of episodes. So to compress it down for the runtime, anybody who's tried to watch One Piece, or you try to get somebody to watch it for the animated version, everyone has sat there and complains constantly that it's too long. The biggest issue anyone has ever really had with One Piece is the pacing. So the live action show gives a great update for the pacing. And Wit Studios is supposed to be putting out the One Piece as an animated season, where doing their seasons are going to be shortening them, so things are going to be updated to fix the pacing, so to kind of make it so more people can experience One Piece and not feel overwhelmed. Because even I understand. I've been watching this since 1998. It is over 20 years.
Yeah.
You're trying to go and to watch, like, yes.
You're at 25 plus years.
You can watch all of it if that's all you watch, and you watch it all day and you have nowhere else to go, nowhere else to be. But it will take months, if not a year, to watch, just to play catch up.
Well, who also intrigued me was, I could not get her, I forgot her name, but Smoke's assistant.
Tashiki.
Tashiki knew every sword name.
Yeah. She's a sword aficionado.
And you know she's going to be back with Smoke.
Well, the thing is, too, yes, she's going to be back, but if you notice, one of the elements is she looks like Zoro's childhood friend, which is why he has a hard time looking at her. So, and the fact that she wants to take the sword that belonged to his childhood friend, like, that's the thing that's going to be driving her to go after Zoro for this.
And even what also makes me really want to watch this more is the fruit. Everybody eats a fruit.
The devil fruit.
Oh, yes, the devil fruit. And what it does to them. I mean, we already seen what it does to Monkey. We seen what it did to the King. We seen what it did to Smoke. Oh, my God. Smoker, Captain Smoker.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, like, there are a lot of different devil fruit powers out there, and there's always that trade-off, because you also saw what a devil fruit does to a reindeer that eats it.
Yes.
Because Chopper ate the human fruit.
And you also see the side effects is from salt water.
They lose the ability to swim. the sea will reject them for eating the devil fruit. So the exchange of power versus the loss of the ability to swim, they become completely weak, submerged in water.
Yeah.
It's not just like salt water in the sea. You take a bath, you can't go in the water, it will start draining. And another element that they brought into season 2 was the sea prism stones, which negate the powers of a devil fruit user. However, I found one thing that it bothered me in the anime, bothered me for this one. Smoker's weapon is made with sea prism stone, and that's supposed to cancel out the devil fruit powers the same way that when they put the cuffs on Luffy, it negated his abilities.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? How is Smoker still becoming Smoke and moving around with a sea prism stone weapon attached to him?
To his hip.
That was to his back.
Back, okay.
So that's the thing. Like, there's little elements that still aren't going to make any sense. Certain things that they didn't explain, but it was never explained in the anime, never explained in the manga. So.
And you notice the name Golden Roger brought up again with Luffy.
I mean, Gold Roger.
Gold Roger. Golden D Roger, if you heard Katie say.
No.
The doctor say.
What Dr. Correia said was Gold D Roger.
Yes.
Gold D Roger. So people are calling him Gold Roger. That was something that comes up later on down the series because even she mentions the Will of D. So there's a lot of stuff that is taking place that will come into play down the line.
And you wonder because you've seen him and Grandpa talking in the prison, and you wonder, like...
Roger and Monkey D. Garp.
Yes.
Well,
I like calling him Grandpa. Like, Grandpa, what?
Yeah, but that's Admiral Garp.
Yes.
Or better known as Monkey D. Garp. The same way it's Monkey D. Luffy.
V.
Because the last name comes first, blah, 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 But it really is one of those things where, we got to see another character that was hidden in the background that we may get to see down the line a lot further. And that would be Sabo. When the mysterious stranger at Logtown.
If you remember the end of season 1, also you're looking at who this mysterious stranger was. Looking, I'm like, God damn it!
The hooded figure.
Yes.
The hooded figure, however, in Logtown, I know who it is, but I don't want to say anything because I don't want to ruin it for people who don't know. But there are a lot of characters, and there was a little something that came out online when they were preparing for season 3. Zolo from Cobra Kai is listed to be there, and it looks like he might be playing Ace. And Ace is a character that if you got emotional and cried with Chopper, Ace's story at a certain point will break anyone. Aww. It broke me. It will break anyone. One Piece has some of these really, truly great emotional moments, highs, lows, and I can't recommend this enough. Season 2 did such a phenomenal job. Michaela Hoover,
as Chopper.
Every single one of Tony Chopper's things for the backstory, the emotionalness to it, she did such a great job that I was brought to tears constantly. The backstory between the Doctor and her, of Chopper's
the way
character.
Luffy when the King's ready to, flag. No, not in front of Luffy.
And and that's Luffy. Luffy is a free spirit.
Yes.
Luffy going and doing the same thing Roger did on the execution tower, just as he's about to die, starts laughing and smiling. That is something that in the face of absolute finality, you're seeing there is no fear. There's a joy there. But there's other elements that are mixed in as well, because the pirates on Elbath, the two giants, they went and they had a statue of Nico, of the sun god Nico. So they have all these little elements that come into play down the line that you find out more and more about them. I'm looking forward to season 3 because I want to see how they're going to do everything with Crocodile, Princess Vivi, seeing all the other things that they're going to be able to accomplish. And there's a lot of special effects that are very heavy when it comes to this world. And they didn't get to show it with Vivi because Chandra did a great job. Like, I don't want to butcher her name. The one who portrayed Princess Vivi has done such a phenomenal job. She fit the role perfectly. People were complaining because it doesn't match the way the character looks. And guess what? First off, physically, no one's ever going to fully look like the character because the measurements and proportions are completely out of control. But Oda, the creator, had picked these people, told everyone where the regions, if this was the real world, where would these people come from? So, of course, she would be coming from a desert nation. So if you're coming from an island that's a desert island, maybe you're going to think that, okay, that kingdom in this desert island is going to be a little darker complexion because people are out in the sun. It's the nature of the environment.
Her security guard, he had that amazing power with that wig.
Oh, that was just those were just guns in the wig.
I loved it.
Power.
But between that and the saxophone.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing, like the guys that were in Baroque works, even the spies within Baroque works, Vivi. The one thing that we didn't get to see was Vivi's transport and like basically sidekick, which is a giant duck that she rides on. She mentioned it because that's how they get around in the Kingdom of Alabasta. And it is absolutely going to be interesting to see if they get to that, because if they can do that, I would kind of want to see if we can get a live action Final Fantasy, because that would be as close to a Chocobo as possible.
Yes.
But
I was just thinking of Chocobo when you said that.
So, I mean, there's so much that they've done, and there's so many elements to see of what's going to happen. There are other members of Baroque works that their powers are ridiculous, but at the same time, they play a part down the line. And some of them are just so badass that it's like, I want to see how they do it live action. It's each one of them with their different code names. Miss All Sunday, Miss Wednesday.
Number 3, number 6.
Yeah, so having them, they did such a great job. Number 3's entire wax house, making that entire wax fountain to try to take care of them. Oh yeah. That they just did such a great job with all of this that it's something that I know we're going to have to wait a while for season 3.
If not, maybe, next year, if not the year after, I don't mind.
Well, they're already in production, so I'm hoping for next year. But if they have to take their time and it takes till 2027, 2028,
that's fine.
I'm willing to wait because they've proven that they're doing it right. And the music, even for One Piece season 2, has been great. Like, I hate the fact that Netflix goes and you have to make sure you switch to watch the credits. Yeah. Because
I just been watching. Going to the next episode.
But it's the map that they're showing with the music that's playing. They're taking elements from all the music from One Piece. They've had so many different openings and endings, and hearing the music that's being redone for the live action, but the way that they have the maps and everything. I mean, listening to that final episode, I was so happy to let it keep going to hear Tony Chopper's song, that it was just adorable. It worked really well. I think that One Piece not only did One Piece truly break the live action anime adaptation curse, but they're doing it because they're coming from a place where you can tell the actors actually like what they're doing. Yes. And that they are fans. It's the same way, I can tell Emily Rudd is a fan of wrestling.
Oh yeah, I saw the podcast and what you sent me. Yeah. Very much.
That's the thing. So it's like when you're a fan of something, you're going to treat it a lot better, and you're going to show it the proper care that it deserves. And it's when you put people that don't care about a project on a project, that's when things get canceled. So to the executive at Hulu who canceled the Buffy reboot, I hope you can see this in the video version because I'm flipping you off. Jimmy, you know I'm doing it.
You deserve to do it because Buffy is Buffy, and that's Buffy. Enough said.
But the fact that Sarah Michelle Gellar is so protective of this and did not want to go and like get back into this unless it was done right, and her with Chloe Zhao, where it sounded like it was going to be a perfect adaptation to keep going.
Yeah.
And I mean,
okay,
I think it would have been great, and they screwed with stuff. So it's things like that that just bug the hell out of me. We know it's one person who's never watched the entirety of the show and doesn't understand it. That's why One Piece works so well, because they actually know, and you can tell that the people involved appreciate what they're doing.
Oh, you can? I appreciated watching. I was like looking forward to watch. Once you said we're gonna watch season 2, okay, good. And I was almost up to season. I'm telling you, episode 7, because I had so much work. But I'm like watching. I'm like, keep going. Everybody's like, stop bothering me.
Yeah, it's one of those shows where once you start, you don't want to stop for the next episode. It makes it where you want to binge because you want to see where everyone's going.
Now I want to see the podcast and the behind the scenes episodes now.
And the fact that they've released the podcast and the behind the scenes stuff. And we do have a Stranger Things thing to look forward to, because I believe it's coming out in April or May.
Cool.
We've got the animated, like, in between season 2 and 3.
I know, they haven't put anything on for coming soon and everything. I keep looking. It is.
When you look on Netflix, if you look at new and popular, it's listed for the coming out, so I set my reminder for it.
Ah, very good.
Which, I have to say, people could set their reminders to go and on YouTube set the reminder so you can see every time the new episode of the Dragoon Slayer Podcast drops. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, do all the things. Leave us a review. 5 stars, please. It helps everybody figure out how to get in touch to enjoy the show. It'll expose more people to us, because, frankly, we've got a lot to say on a lot of different topics, and we're trying to give you guys the best recommendations we can. If Ted 2, season 2 would have been terrible, I would have honestly said that Ted season 2 was terrible, but it was actually had me rolling to the point where I had to pause episodes and like take a breath because some of the jokes. One Piece is something that I have loved One Piece since watching it from the bad 4Kids dubs, even though the music from the 4Kids dubs was actually really good. The One Piece rap was great, but it's been something that's been a part that I enjoy so much, and I want to make sure that we can share the things that we enjoy. And if it's bad, we're going to tell you it's bad. There's no way we're going to sugarcoat when something sucks. Blair Witch Project. Yeah, we know who that one was for.
Yes.
So, Jimmy, you want to tell everybody how they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, just call me. Not that way. I'm only kidding. Snapchat, James SI0925, all in lowercase. On Instagram and Threads, James H_the4th. Facebook, James Haynes the 4th. TikTok, James0925. On Blue Sky, it's James925. You can catch me there. Just enjoy me also on here, on the official, and even on TikTok in between the little clips and everything. And please also, I believe Dan will agree, support Miss Danielle too, because she rocks. The queen does rock.
Absolutely. And you can get in touch with me, Blue Dragoon 13, on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, the YouTube channel, Blue Dragoon 13, the Twitch channel. We also have the Discord group that you can sign up with. Links are all in every single one of my profiles, so I have that listed there, so you can join from the link tree, find whichever one you want to sign up with. We also have Dragoon Slayer Official on Instagram and Threads, where you can see different things that are on there, because that's where you're going to get to see the reels. You can also find us on Facebook. Join the Facebook group, Dragoon Slayer Podcast, on Facebook groups, so you can go find the Dragoon Slayer Podcast there. Not only that, but we're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Audible. You can listen to us all there. You can watch the video versions first on Spotify, and then 1 week later on the Blue Dragoon 13 YouTube channel, where you can watch the video version there. Now, if you really want to help us out, make sure hit the like button, hit the share button, follow us, subscribe to the channel. Not only that, but also leave us a review, leave us comments on the videos, on the shorts, leave on the TikTok videos, but leave us a review on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, anywhere where you can leave a review, leave us a review, leave us notes. And just so you know, I put a poll up on every episode on Spotify. So Spotify has polls, and the last poll that I put up was, which did you prefer, the Smurfs or the Snorks?
The winner is
the Smurfs. That's right. So because the Smurfs won that one, we're in good shape on that one. At least for those of us that prefer the Smurfs over the Snorks. But
I got a good thing. As you said, you brought up Airborne. If anybody else has any other underrated movie that should be seen more on TV, more than watching, I don't know, Harry Potter now 27,000 times, and Star Wars and the Marvel Universe, please send us a message on all.
Yeah, you can
links,
make sure
please.
You send us an email at dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. All one word, Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. You can also leave us a message at Dragoon Slayer Official on Instagram and Threads. You can also message us on the Facebook page for Dragoon Slayer Podcast. So those are the easiest ways to get in touch with us, to let us know if there's an underrated movie and some movies that we haven't talked about, or something that you think we should see.
And something that's, as we say, out of the closet, in a way, out of the sphere. Bring it.
There we go. We'll go with the sphere reference.
Yeah, we'll leave the Blair Witch Project in the closet with him.
Yeah. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Make sure that you reach out to us. Let us know. There'll be a new poll up on the Spotify page when the episode drops. So there's a limited time to be able to vote for them. So hopefully you guys go and you're able to get within that vote. I usually keep it open for the poll for at the very least a week and a half. So you have... What is that? 7, 8, 9, 10 days?
10 days.
I give it a nice 10 days where you can go and you can vote. So make sure you check that out, and make sure you keep on listening, keep on watching, and share us with everybody else, because without you guys, we're just screaming into the void here.
Yeah.
And with that being said, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Now get out.
Bye-bye.